So you want to know what a decathlete does? You want to know who he is? Stick around, we're about to give you this work.
Set. Hey!
Hi, my name is McCune. I'm a 5th year senior decathlete here at the University of Akron. And what we're doing here today is Malik is doing a video demonstrating what it is to be a decathlete, what we do on a daily basis, how do we prepare for such a grueling event. So the decathlon is a 2-day event in track and field, 5 events on each day. And the order of the events are the 100-meter dash, the long jump, the shot put, the high jump, and the 400, the quarter mile to end of day 1. Day 2 then starts off with a lot of pain, a lot of soreness, but you end up waking up and you run the 110 hurdles, you throw a discus, pole vault, throw a javelin, and run the metric mile. What goes into it is insane. It's grueling, it's 4 hours a day, it's putting in time in every discipline of the sport. On a daily basis you can expect to sprint, do a throwing event, some type of lifting, and even some grueling workout of sprinting or some endurance-based workout which you just got footage of. So what we're doing is we're preparing for the MAC championships here that go from Thursday to Saturday. We have 3 decathletes competing at this meet, myself, McCune, another senior, Quentin Cieslinski, and a freshman, Kumar Majid, and we look forward to bringing home a championship. Thank you.
I'm Dennis Mitchell, head track and field coach here at the University of Akron, and I also specialize in the decathlon, heptathlon, and tell you a little bit about the decathlon. Of course, it's, as you all know, it's 10 events. So in my training plan, I have to make sure we're not doing just 10 separate events, because that would just kill you every day having to do that type of program. So we have to look for a lot of commonalities, and so that dealing with jumping, sprinting, and throwing. And for example, today we did some long jump approaches, getting ourselves ready so we can prepare ourselves to have approaches ready in long jump, but also create that rhythm, which also applies towards high jump and pole vault, and also the other jumping activities. And then today we also did some block starts. Now, important for us to work on our mechanics coming out of the blocks. Again, that follows up quite a few events. That's the 400, the 110 hurdles, and the 100 meters all require block starts. And so we're working towards those events as well. Within those block starts, we're also working on sprinting, which is involved in almost all the decathlon events, and especially on the sprint mechanic part of it all. Again, our most important part, if we have very good mechanics, we'll be more efficient. If we're more efficient, we can run faster. And usually the basics of sprinting is heel up, toe up, knee up, and that just means making sure your knees are up good, your knees are compact, and you're rotating through so that you're, again, getting back to an efficient type of movement so that you're conserving energy but also increasing speed. And so all those events, almost every event in decathlon requires some speed, except for, at least running mechanics wise, except for the shot put and discus. But again, those require a lot of power and speed as well, but not as much the running variety. And so what we try to do is try to take all those commonalities, those parts of the events, sprint mechanics, approaches, jumping, all those things, and we train at those things so that each event we're able to cover in some way so we can prepare ourselves to handle a complete decathlon.
I'm Quentin Cieslinski. I'm a senior decathlete on the track team here with Malik. Said my favorite event is probably the javelin because it's like, the most primal event. You're throwing an 8 feet long spear just as far as you can, which is pretty cool. And pole vault as well, because that's not something you get to do much out in the real world. It's just a different feeling event, falling 15, 16 feet in the air. Least favorite event would probably be the 400 or discus. Discus, it's not one of my strong events, and the 400 just hurts like you wouldn't imagine. So being a decathlete is, it's really rewarding because you get to do everything, and you kind of get a perspective of track and field that no one else has, because we do every other event. We train just like the sprinters and just like the throwers sometimes. So it's, it's really cool getting every aspect of track and field out there.
Finally here. My name is Kumar Majid. I'm a freshman here at the University of Akron, and I run track. I'm a decathlete. In high school, I was strictly a jumper. I was a high jumper, and I was pretty trash at long jump and everything else. And to my surprise, when I got here, they made me a decathlete. And I will be honest, it's probably the best thing that has happened to me. as far as it comes to my athletic career. The decathlon, it's tough. You know, in my first decathlon ever, I performed in some really garbage weather, and it made me really question whether or not I should actually be a decathlon or a decathlete competing in a decathlon. And you know, the seniors, you know, Alex and Quentin, they made me realize that it was just a bad meet. And overall, I will say that decathlon it's a tough event, and that's why they say that decathletes are the best athletes in all of sports. My favorite event would have to be running 40-yard dashes at practice. It's not really an event, but everything else to me. You know, I'm just being honest, you know what I mean? It's just, that's a short race, and that's what I like. But to be honest, you know, to give a legit response, my favorite event would be pole vault. You know, I'm not good at it, but it's a lot of thrill, you know, to be launched into the air, you know, at free will and basically hit the mat. Right?
Okay, I'm Riley Fillman. I'm a freshman on track team. My favorite event's probably hurdles or javelin, even though I just arm up with javelin. As a freshman, it's a big change because in high school you're used to like 20-minute practices, hour practices, and then you get here and it's 4-hour practices and everything's different. Meet a lot of new people, made a lot of friends. It's really fun experience, just difficult. And leading up to MAC, I mean, athletics obviously is a huge priority, but you can't just focus on athletics. As student athletes, we are students before athletes. So academics plays a huge part. You got a lot of academic work, and you got to stay up with your grades if you want to stay on the track team.
My name is Malik Hudson. I'm a freshman here. I'm also a decathlete. This is a huge jump from high school. It's nothing like high school, actually. In high school, I was a sprinter. I come here, and I got to do every aspect of track and field, from sprinting to distance to throwing to jumping. Pole vault also, very unique. I would have never thought I'd be pole vaulting, or never thought that I would learn how to pole vault. It's a lot of work. Practices, they require 1,000% effort. You need 1,000% effort on and off the track, in practice and outside. You got to make sure you're taking care of yourself outside of practice. You got to stretch when you're just sitting around. Make sure you see the trainers. Tell your coach what's going on with your body. If not, you regret it. Also, make sure schoolwork is on point, because if you're not studying for your classes, your grades could easily slip.
Wait.
All right. Ready?
Because you need all those hours in. Cut. A lot of things. I'm always cut.
Pull a hamstring and then put the sniper noise in.